Good morning. So this morning, it's Saturday morning. I got out with the dogs about 8:30 now. I'll show you. I'll just show you where I'm at because it's just so pretty. I'm sitting here. This is Nachlamud. I climbed up to this. It's kind of like this little inlet on this bluff. Down there's the valley. I climbed up here. It's like this rocky. See, I'm sitting on this rocky Lola, and there I'm sitting right across from that pillar of Nachlamud, like the ancient god. It looks like it has like the side view, like the profile of an old grumpy man from both sides. So, like it has a nose and stuff. I'm sure that there's been so many ceremonies done around that pillar. I've had so many thoughts. It's just kind of been like mumbo jumbo. I've been in the valley for a while, and yesterday my recording stick broke, so I'm gonna have to get a new one or try to fix the one that I have. It's kind of cheapo, so I'll probably just get a new one. Um, but I've been having so many thoughts, and I'm gonna see if if I'm able to bring them into something that's solid, because it's just kind of, I've been having random thoughts all over the place. Um, a lot of thoughts about society, thoughts of that I'm here in the valley and it's so quiet. You can hear the birds chirping. It's like you can really connect to nature, and you can quiet your mind, and in that quiet, I kind of am feeling like what it would have felt like for the people that used to live here in this valley, because there's caves all up and down this valley, and there's antiquities, and this valley is where they found, until they found Lucy, they found the most ancient caveman remnants in this valley. They found older ones since, but from caveman time, this land has been inhabited and by man and nature. And I see how nature, when left alone, it just knows what to do. It does its own thing. The plants, you don't have to tell them where to go. You don't have to tell the seeds where to go and how to grow. That life wants to continue. So even like that little plant that's right there next to me, this is all rocky right here. Everything is just like stone. And so it found a little crevice and it went in there, and life wants to exist. Life wants to continue. And I was thinking, as a species, we are so far disconnected from our disconnected and connected at the same time, because we can never disconnect from our habitat. Otherwise, we couldn't exist. But we're so far disconnected from where we come from our source. We're so far disconnected from the land around us. Even just, we wear shoes. I'm taking my shoes off as I speak because I'm thinking I'll be more grounded, actually touching the ground, because we wear on the soles of our feet plastic, which separates us from the land. I just saw something in Facebook. Somebody put like the difference in it. I don't know, he had some kind of mechanism that was, I don't remember even what he was measuring, but it was the difference between having shoes on and not having shoes on, and there was a massive difference. I've been having all sorts of thoughts this morning. I've been thinking about how doing these videos really helps me in noticing when I'm in my ego self and when I'm in my true self, because the pain, I was thinking about pain and how the pain is only when you're in your ego, because when you're not in your ego, when you're in your higher self, nothing really hurts. I'm not talking about physical pain. I'm talking about like emotional and spiritual pain that you go through on your spiritual awakening. And the pain is actually the ego losing grasp. It's the ego trying to hold on and trying to catch on. So it's like going downstream, and your ego, imagine that your ego is like your hands out trying to catch along the way all the things on the side to get stuck on, because it's um transcending your ego. Your ego wants to, its purpose. Your ego is there to serve you and to hold you apart from. And as you slowly start letting go and understanding that you are not the ego is kind of like trying to hold on to you. And you also are trying to hold on to you. I mean, you can look at it in different ways, but it's also you are trying to hold on to what you know, what makes you feel safe. The same thought patterns that you've had all your life have protected you. You know how to think that way. It's when you get into something new that you don't know what to do and you're afraid of the unknown. And in order to adopt something new, sometimes there's like this point right in between that is a void, because you have to let go of the past to bring something new in. And then there's like this void in between the two. I kind of feel like on this twin flame journey, and this is another thought I was having this morning. Oh, this is nice. It's coming together. I am going to stop this now because I have a phone call that I really want to answer. So I will continue it in a minute. So I just got off the phone. It was my twin's mother, and I didn't talk to her yesterday, so I wanted to answer. I was talking about the ego, and I kind of feel like there's a balance in between, because our soul, our core being is timeless, is shellness, is just pure consciousness, pure love. Um, and our ego is what holds us in this experience. It's the illusion that we are separate from everything else, and this is what allows us to have this experience, this life experience, which that is all that this is a life experience of expansion. We're expanding consciousness. And if it, so I kind of feel like it's everything else in life. It's like the yin and the yang. It's finding balance in between knowing, in between your ego, which is what allows you to have this experience, and in between your higher being, which knows that it is not it is not your ego. It is not this body. It is not only this, that it belongs to and is part of the all, the everything. And so is this body. The body is just a form made up of um, things from the earth around us. We have calcium in us. We have all of the minerals and elements within us. And so we're just a makeup of things from the earth around us, and we continuously feed this body. So it's like we have this avatar that we have to take care of, and it's like finding a balance in between the higher being and the animal being. So to fully experience this life, we have to embrace that we are also this, and this is part of what we are in this life experience. So it's and that this body is sacred. It's as sacred as our inner being. It's not, and that is a true spiritual awakening, is understanding that it is all sacred. It's not transcend my ego because my ego is bad, or my ego isn't is something that we need to get rid of, or it's all part of it. It's all divine. So even that, especially that, or not even especially that, including that, it's all inclusive. So in understanding that our body is also sacred, those are thoughts that I was having yesterday also about my body, how years and years and years I exploited my body. Like, I didn't pay attention to it. I just took it for advantage of it, allowing myself to get, not thinking that I was beautiful, thinking that, that it was okay to, I abused my body even. I was extremely overweight. I was an alcoholic. I smoked cigarettes in my life. I smoked weed in my life. I've, done all these things. I didn't pay attention to nutrition. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't cherish this my body, which is my container, which is what allows me to have this experience. It was almost like I was it's like not holding life as sacred, because in order to have this experience, this is the body that I got to do it in, and this is the only one for this experience, right? So if I want to have a life experience where I expand as much as possible, then I kind of need this container to help me, to carry me, to hold me, to contain me. I need to cherish it. Life is sacred. Life is sacred. All life is sacred. I was thinking about that. That's another thing I was thinking about this morning is I saw this little beetle on the path that I was walking in, and it was a perfect beetle. It was dead, and it was laying in the path, and it had its legs out, and it was perfect. It had like this intricate little shell, and it was just, I was thinking, everything that had to have happened for that beetle to have come to be, you know, all that had to have happened to make it into a perfect little beetle. Now the life has gone out of it, and it's going back into the big scheme of things. And then I started thinking about the animals, like cows, that everything that has to happen for one human to be born, the love that we're made of, there has to be the coming together of the male and female, the egg and the sperm, and then the development. And imagine in development how perfect and precise it has to be for the animal or for us to come out perfect, with 4 limbs, and that we can walk, and that we have the capability to learn, and that we are the container for this soul. When you think about all the things that had to have happened in order to bring any kind of life form into this world, it's amazing. And then you think about how we are exploiting that. We're exploiting life. We're so far disconnected from where we come from who we are, from life itself. We don't have empathy towards the animals that we eat. I'm vegan. I don't eat animals, but I did for the majority of my life. I was raised that way. We raised it. Well, see, that is something that I see as a little bit more. Um, I've just been sitting too long. Um, we raised goats and animals that we actually raised and ate, which I see as being more connected to where our food is coming from than going into the supermarket and buying a big chunk of a cow wrapped in plastic. Yeah, I don't know that I want plastic wrapped all over my food. It's that the vibration of that is low vibration, and that our food is so far taken away from where it comes from. Like, we buy a big chunk of a cow to eat. We don't even know where it comes from. We don't know what that cow went through. Just the fact that they took that cow and slaughtered it. Imagine that cow, the fear that it was feeling, because the cow knew where it was going. You can smell death. You can smell death. There's a definite smell to fear and to death. And even like animals, like when I went to a vet and there was a dog there waiting it was a really old, sick dog, and it was waiting to be put to sleep. And you walked in the place. I couldn't stay inside of the room because the dog was in there, and you could it just reeked of death. There was like a smell of death. And I imagine, the animals have a sense, so they know. And so they have this fear. They have this fear. And when you have fear, there's all sorts of hormones and things that you let go into your system, adrenaline, fear, all sorts of things that are let go into your system, and then they slaughter that animal, kill the animal right at that moment, and when it's full of fear, and you're eating that vibration. And not only that, they're raising those cows just to just for that purpose. It's like making it's like a atrocity, is that they're taking cows, they're taking away, they're making their lives, they're like making a factory out of cows. They're using a womb, which creates life, which is sacred and intricate, and it's like using God for evil. Yeah, that making these cows, not feeding them well, feeding them all sorts of things that naturally in nature they would have way more variety, and feeding them things that will make them grow really fast and big so that they can get a lot of meat off of them. And just think of the misery, these cows that we're eating, and we're putting all that misery into our bodies. And then they go and they do all sorts of things to the meat to make it have a shelf life that's longer, or like with the fast food places. And I'm not going to say the names of the fast food places, but I imagine most fast food places that are big, they dry out the meat and then they rehydrate it, and it's like it goes through all of this processing. It's just, and it's all to make a buck. It's all to make a buck. It's like the bucks are the new gods. You can exploit nature. You can totally ruin your habitat. You can totally take advantage of animals that are less uh, gentle cows. We just go in and we take complete advantage of them, and don't give them anything in return. It's like taking advantage of, I don't know, it's just it kind of makes me, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think we got the point on that one. I get into these rants. Um, and there was some more thoughts I was having, kind of fun. Maybe I'll end this one here so that I can put it together. It won't be that long because there's some other points that I want to make. So I'll just make another video. So thank you for watching.